Hello everyone, Ryjack back here with another video. Manchester City, keep or sell. I did this maybe a month, 2 months ago or so, but a lot has changed in that short time. So today I will be re-looking at my old keep or sell and updating it with more current one that's more fit with the injuries and form that we've got. So without further ado, let's get into it. Of course, first hit me with a like, comment, and a new sub. If you are new, I appreciate it. We are on the road to 100 subs. We are almost there. So much love to the Man City community that has started giving me some, likes and follows. Very, very cool. Follow me on Twitter as well. My link to that is in the bio, as well as my TikTok, where I post some short form versions of these videos and reactions to City goals from my watch along. So thank you guys again for that. But yes, let's get into it. We'll head over here to my old prediction for what I had for keep or sell. Did this a while ago. I categorized it with star players, squad players, questionable players, and defo sell. Star players, I have Ederson, I have John Stones, I have Ruben Diaz, Josko Vardiol, Rodri, Haaland, Foden. Now, I'm sure a lot of that is about to change, but that's what I had. Squad players, we have Ake, Kusanov, Vitor Hayes, Nico Gonzalez, Claudio Echeverri, Omar Marmoush, Oscar Bob, and Savinho. Questions I had for Akanji, Rico Lewis, Mateo Kovacic, and Jeremy Doku. And in the defo sell category, we've got Stefan Ortega, KDB on a free, Gundo on a free, McAtee, Bernardo, Mateus Nunes, Jack Grealish, and Scott Carson on a free. So if you guys like that, let me know, of course, what you think of my original list and compare it to what you guys would do. But I will now go over to my new list here. And it'll be a little different, of course, but I need to pull up the squad so I make sure I don't miss anyone, of course. Don't want to do that. But this is the kind of content you get here on the channel. It's international break, but the content never stops, of course. Never stops. So I think in the definite sell category, at least on the bottom down here, I'm going to keep Scott Carson. It doesn't really matter to me if he's out or not. He'll be a zero sale, He can leave. Not the biggest deal in the world. He'll probably retire, to be honest. I mean, he's getting pretty old, so it would not be overly surprising to see him leave. Now, Stefan Ortega and Ederson, the debate. I had Ederson as a star player, and I had Ortega as leaving. However, I think, based on new evidence, I'm going to go with Ortega. I don't know what you could get for him. I think the value has probably gone down. You're looking at like 15 million maybe, to me. And then I would look at Ederson also out the door probably. I would move him to. Well, let me do this. Let me think about it a bit more, and I'm gonna put him in the questionable because if he wants to stay, I would personally be happy keeping him. I don't know if he's a star player that we're building around, but I think losing two keepers in one window would be tough. So personally, I would keep him under the circumstances that he signs a new long-term deal and is here to stay. If he still wants to leave, if he wants a Saudi bag, no problems, Ederson. You have done great by me. You have been a great keeper for us. Go chase that bag, and we'll sign replacement, whether that's Diogo Costa from the Portuguese league or Chevalier from Ligue 1 in France. It'll probably be one of those two. Those are the two names I see most of the time, at least from the rumor mill. So I'll put him in questions mainly due to, his own personal, what he wants to do. Now, defenders. John Stones, I had him as a star player. That was maybe a bit reactionary. That was following the Real Madrid first leg where he just bossed the game. Again, he's been injured, and he's probably out for the season. So, in my estimation, for now, I'm going to put John Stones as a sell candidate. Maybe that's also a bit reactionary, but I think if you can sell him and get something for him, that's where he goes. He goes to that sell category. I don't know what you can get for him. Maybe it's 25 million, something like that. I don't think it'd be a lot. He's on big wages, of course. So it'll be tough to sell Stones and make much profit there. He has been here, of course, a very long time, so I guess on the books it would be profit. But I don't think you're getting much of a fee for him. I think Nathan Ake deserves to be in the questionable side. He is injury prone, but not quite as injury prone as John Stones, which is why I have him questionable to the definite sell category. And I think, again, Akanji, who is injured, unfortunately, now probably moves over to the squad players section, because if we're selling all these other center backs, we probably need to keep Akanji, who had been pretty healthy this season until we hammed him out too much, and he picked up an injury basically for the rest of the season. Ruben Diaz, the other center back, of course, will be a star player. I still have confidence in him. He's not very old yet, so I think he is still someone we definitely can build around. Josko as well. I think definite star player. Maybe is the best left back in the world. I'd be happy keeping him as a star player. Then you get to Kusanov and Vitor Hayes. I think Vitor Hayes solidly can go here. We haven't seen much from him at all, so he can solidly go in this bottom tier of squad player category. Kusanov, I think, is well on his way to being a star player that we build around, but I don't want to be overreactionary. I'll put him as a squad player for now, and I think that's fine. I think Rico Lewis squarely in this questionable range. I don't think I'm a definite sell. I know there are certainly Man City fans out there who are 100% sell this guy. He's not good enough. He's not a right back. He's not a midfielder. He's not good enough. And I'm not quite there yet, but I also don't think he probably will live up to the potential that I at least foresaw originally when he broke through the team. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in questionable for now. And I will leave out some of the midfield, some of the really young academy players that have been around occasionally, like Simpson Puzzi. I don't have enough information to rate them properly, in my opinion. If you move over to the midfield, KDB, I think stays in this release on a free situation, as does Gundo, release on a free. I don't think anything has changed particularly for them there. Neither one, especially KDB, has difficulties staying fit. Gundo has difficulties proving that he is, fit enough or athletic enough to contribute significantly. He has been a bit better, Gundo, for me in the second half of the season here, and I do admire him for that he's not thrown the towel in. He's not given up on the season. He does play hard and give effort. It's just physically he doesn't have it anymore. And what is keeping him another year going to do? He's not going to get more athletic at 35 versus 34. It's only going to continue to decline from here. So let him go to Turkey if that's where he wants to go, or America or Saudi, whatever he would like to do. I do think whatever league he goes to, if it's a little less physical and more technical, he would be still a very good quality midfielder. So I don't think his playing days are over or anything like that. I just don't think he can cut it quite at the high top end of the Premier League and Champions League anymore. Kovacic, for me, you could put him in questionable squad player or sell, to be honest. I think for me, I will put him here for now. Because I'm uncertain on Kovacic. I know there's going to be a lot of transferring out and transferring in of players this summer, so keeping someone like Kovacic might be smart, just to have him around. You never know. It might be worth it. So I'll just keep him in questionable for now. I don't think he's going to be here much past next season if he does stay, but so for that reason, I'll put him in questionable. Bernardo Silva, interesting one. I think Most City fans have him here in this definite sell category, and I would personally too, but he did come out with some news that he wants to stay today, see out his last year of his contract, and then maybe, his plan is dip and go back to Portugal and rejoin his boyhood club. Maybe that's what he does. You never know. If it's me, I'm selling him. If this is my list, so I'm putting him here. I just don't think he's got much left to give, unfortunately. I don't think you're getting much for him. Maybe 15, 20 million, something like that, probably. It's definitely not a high fee or anything like that, unfortunately. Elsewhere, I think we can move forward. The Bernardo talk is kind of sad at times because he's been so good for us, but it's just everything has a time, Rodri, obviously, star, will be the backbone of our midfield probably for the next 3, 4, 5 seasons, assuming he recovers from this knee injury. McAtee and Nunez are the other two. I think I'll put Nunez here in the questionable section, while McAtee can certainly leave. He isn't good enough, in my opinion. Never has been good enough. Has had opportunities, unlike what some people say on Twitter. He has had opportunities, and he's just not been very impressive for me. So McAtee, he can leave in the summer. See you later, no problem, no drama. To me, he'll probably want the move as well, winding the contract down, so he can go. Nico Gonzalez, I am putting here as squad player. I don't think there's any question that he's going to be good enough to be in the squad for the time being. I don't know if he'll reach that star level at any point, but I definitely think squad player, good enough for me, as well as Echeverri. Obviously, we haven't seen him yet, but he is going to be a relevant part of the squad, certainly going forward, and that's what I would do, without a doubt, is keep him in that squad player, and ideally, in a year or 2, 3, he is in the star player category. Now we move on to forwards, and we can start with Haaland. Haaland obviously will be staying. There are some reports out there that he's going to push for an exit if we don't qualify for Champions League. I don't think that is true. Those reports are coming out of Spain. Spain reports normally are reports out of Barcelona or Madrid's camp, not necessarily the English players' camp. So that's maybe what they hope happens, not what Haaland or his team is actually saying. So for me, Haaland's not going to Madrid. It doesn't make any sense. They have a front three that's going to start basically every game. I don't see it. It doesn't make much sense. You do have some interesting ones. You have Phil Foden, who I do think I had as a star player originally, and he's had such a poor down season. I'm not in the mood of it. I'm not selling Phil. I don't have questions about Phil. It's just, do we move Phil over to squad, or is he still a star player? That would be the question. And I don't know. I think probably he is still in this star player just based on the fact that he won player of the season last year. So he's got credit in the bank to stay there at the moment. Maybe next season, if he's still poor, we move him over and we kind of lower expectations for what he is, possibly. I'm not sure. But I think for now it's fair to keep him as a pillar of the team and just one of the leaders, one of the star boys that we keep, in high regard, high esteem. Then we move on to an interesting one, Jack Grealish. I think pretty much everybody's probably going to have him here, as unfortunate as it is. I don't know what you can get for him, but he just doesn't play football for us anymore. I would love to watch him play. I love watching him. I'm a fan of his. But even I know he doesn't have it. Whatever it is, he doesn't have it anymore to contribute at Manchester City. He's not going to do it. He's getting older. He's almost 30. I'm sorry. It just hasn't worked out. It's been a poor transfer, all in all. So I don't know what you get for a guy like Grealish. Maybe it's a loan. But I would imagine something like 40, maybe 50 would get a deal done. I think City would sell for something like that, probably. I could be wrong. Maybe he wants to stay and fight for his place, but I don't see it. I think it's a big summer of turnover, and I don't see Grealish making it much past this season. I don't see it happening at all. You got Marmouche. I think Marmouche could move to the star player category. I do hope that he does. He's still young, and I think I'm going to put him there. He has been pretty impressive so far for me. So I'll put him in one of our star pillars going forward. Maybe Foden could be squad and Marmouche can stay here, or it's only one of those two. It's hard to say, but I'll do that for now. And then the last few spots for the wingers, there's a lot of debate going on. You have Doku, Bob, and Savinho. And, I mean, they're not getting rid of all three of them. And I honestly, to me, I have the least questions about Bob. I think Bob is going to become one of the Premier League's best players very quickly. I have so much confidence in Oscar Bob. And I know maybe it's irrational confidence, but I have it. That guy is impressive. I'm all in on the Oscar Bob train. I think he's much better than Doku, much better than Savinho, and I think he would have been our right winger holding that position down all season had he not broken his leg. Of course, we haven't seen him back yet, but that should be changing once this international break ends. So I think Bob will lock down a spot and prove that he is the best of the wingers that we do have. And I don't know if you classify Marmouche as a winger or not, because sometimes he plays on the wing, sometimes he's kind of a second striker behind Haaland. So I don't know, but I think Bob will separate himself pretty quickly as as our best winger. The last two on the list, you have Savinho and you have Doku. And I'm going to put both of them here as I have questions for them, to be honest. Savinho. I like both of them. I want both of them to be star players. I want them to be the best two wingers in the Premier League. And I'd love it if Doku on the left and Savinho on the right become Sterling and Sane, how we used to have it. And we just have flying wingers that create goals and score goals, but that ain't it yet. We're not there yet, unfortunately. I wish we were. I wish, more than anything, that's what we were. But does anyone at home sit there and think Doku and Savinho are as good as Sane and Sterling were, or Mahrez was for us? The answer is no, they're not. Maybe with some development, they will be. Savinho is the younger of the two, so I do have a little bit more belief that he will be able to move over a category. I don't have much faith in Doku. I know a lot of people really like Doku and a lot of people don't like Doku. I am not a Doku hater by any means. I am never rooting for him to not succeed. I want him to succeed because he plays for Manchester City. But for me, he doesn't offer much past dribbling and physicality on the ball, which is great, and I'm happy that you have that. But I would be happy if, instead of being the absolute best on the ball dribbler in the world, you were like, I don't know, the 20th best, and then you increased your passing ability. I don't think he has the precision and accuracy on his balls that we need, or the finishing ability that we need. And similarly to Savinho, he has a little bit better passing accuracy, I would say, passing ability, crossing ability than Doku, but he's not as good a dribbler as Doku, obviously. Not many people are, if anyone. But Savinho's problem is he can't finish. And with something we all know, we all agree on, he shoots with no power. It's very strange. When he's on the left, it does seem like he's a little bit better finishing, and his 2 goals in the Premier League, or 1 goal, whatever it is, this season did come from the left. Whenever he's cutting in on the right and he's kind of wrapping his foot around it, it doesn't seem like he gets the power behind it. When he's on the left and he can put his foot through it, he gets a little more power, a little more accuracy. So maybe he's better on the left. I don't know. But I have questions on, will they make it, Doku and Savinho, with Savinho edging the ability chart, probably for me, most likely. And then you also have some young academy players, like I said, Simpson Pusi, JSP. Is he going to make it? Probably not. Nico O'Reilly. I do hope Nico O'Reilly can find himself here in the squad player pool. We never know if he will or won't, because we don't know if he gets the minutes or not. Then you have Mubama, the backup striker. Is he going to make it? You don't know. So I don't think we need to put them on the list or anything, but this is what I would have for now. this would, by my calculation, create 80, 95, 120 million in funds. And then let's say, we spend 300 million in the summer for a net spend of 200, or maybe it's 200 spent for a net spend of 100, something like that. I don't know. But this would be a lot of experience leaving. I don't think they all leave. This is just my opinion, what I would do. I just think this is what the squad needs to push forward and create the new era for City. You have these guys leading the way. You have young talent, right, with Kusanov. You have Echeverry and Bob and Vitor Hayes on their way to being very good squad players and potentially becoming stars of their own. And then hopefully some of these guys are able to separate themselves from this questionable category, while the guys in the sell category, move on and have a good career elsewhere and finish out their career or get it going in for McAtee. He's kind of stumbled and whatnot at City. At least he could get a fresh start and blossom into his own player away from City. So anyway, that's my keeper sell. More sell than last time, I think. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Are there anybody that you would change around? Do you agree with me? Am I way off? You can tell me in the comments if I don't have a clue what I'm doing. You let me know what you think, and I will respond to the comments. I respond to all the comments because that's my favorite thing about this. I like hanging out with the City fans. Again, thank you for the subs and likes and comments, everything. We're on that push to 100. We're going to get there very soon. Anyway, the international break is long and boring and awful, but I will keep putting out the content. And whenever there's more City news, hopefully we get some transfer news soon, I can put that content out for you guys as well. Thank you again. I do appreciate all the support that I have gotten. Anyway, City till we die. See you next time.